Hello awesome people of YouTube, welcome back to game number 2 between Ukraine and Norway. This is going to be our Zerg player DIMAGA versus our Zerg player Liquid Snute. So we haven't seen Liquid Snute in this tournament yet. He is going to be representing Norway and he is obviously on Team Liquid. So Snute versus DIMAGA. DIMAGA himself representing Ukraine. He's on Team Monolith team and that is about that as much as I need to say about it. So it looks like he is... DIMAGA is opting to go with a hatchery first. Sorry, with a spawning pool first. So a little bit different than last time. Not deciding to go with a hatchery first or even a double hatchery, of course. And Liquid Snute responding with the exact same answer. Both players starting with gas and pool. So these are very early pools, by the way. There's going to be very high aggression expected from both of these. Because they were put down at 14 supply. So going to be expecting speedlings very quickly. It does look like DIMAGA has very first gas put up. So he's going to have his gas ready whenever the pool comes up. And he's probably going to rush that. There we go. There's going to be metabolic boost running out straight away. And we're going to see how Snute responds to this. So Snute has actually made a little bit more Zerglings. He has 6 on the way in total. And there we go, DIMAGA has 6 now as well. So both the builds are almost identical. One thing we're going to have to see very shortly is probably Baneling nests as well. DIMAGA putting out his one first, so he seems to be a little bit ahead on everything from what I can see right now. Taking a little bit of unnecessary damage on that Zergling. This is one of those toxic Zerg versus Zergs where you start off both with a very early pool and a very early baning nest, and you just go all out at each other's throats. So let's have a quick look at the units tab. It does appear that both players have 8 Zerglings right now. Are we going to see some banelings? Baneling nest is about to be completed now, so I would expect the banelings to come out very shortly. Now the banelings, as soon as metabolic boost comes out, are a lot harder to actually hit because of course they are much slower than the Zerglings. So let's have a look. Slow Zerglings are actually, never mind, these are fast now, they just got upgraded. Slow Zerglings are 4.13 off creep. Banelings are 3.5, so not a huge difference between them. But as you can see, 5 banelings here in total. Now these Zerglings should not be attacking before the banelings are available. A huge baneling bust here. Oh my god, that was a huge baneling explosion here. A nice one in return here, and the banelings going off against each other. It does look like Snute still has more banelings at this point. And no banelings have been hitting these drones at all. It does appear that the aggression has stopped for just a few moments while he recoups his units. And I think at the moment it does look like Snute is in a better position. That baneling hit was actually quite huge. He took out like 6 or 7 Zerglings with that. Quite impressive and very well coordinated there. So what is DIMAGA planning? He does look to be interested in his own expansion as well. So in this case it is Snute that's ahead. Putting down his hatchery now. Of course, Snute is going to be aware of this, as you can see there. 1 overlord in place. And this is actually perfect for him right now. So he has 2 queens in place, ready to defend. DIMAGA has only 1. So at the moment, looking at production capability and of course income, I'd say that Snute is in a better position. He's going to have his queens prepared first. He's going to have his hatchery prepared first. Now, is this queen going to get taken out? It doesn't look like it. Does manage to save it with a few of his own banelings. And he's going to have injects available. He's also going to have a transfuse ready here as well. So I'm not quite sure if he's going to use that on this queen. Does indeed save that queen's life. Sends her back to the base. Not quite sure why actually she does have more energy. Oh, maybe he just wants to inject and then bring her back to the other base. Yes, there we go. And the hatchery for DIMAGA has just completed. So at this point, he is going to start evening out. Now, if you notice here, Liquid Snute's base here is already almost fully saturated. He has about nine drones on it right now. So the longer this goes on, the further behind DIMAGA is gonna go. So if you have a look at this, 1,000 minerals per minute compared to about 700. This is a good place for Snute to be. Roach Warren is on the way also, very first one. And it does appear to be that this game is finally starting to stabilize a little bit, turning into a more normal game. No more aggression at the very beginning, no Zerg run-bys. Well, Zerg run-bys are never really strange, they're never rushed, because if you've already got a second base up, a Zerg run-by is just a Zerg strategy. That's exactly what they do. Let's have a look at the Overlord spread as well. It does look like DIMAGA's vision, I would argue, is a little bit better. He does see a little bit further than Snute. There go a few Overlords now making it out. Gonna get a bit of extra vision here. And the roaches are now on the way. So DIMAGA has opted to get quite a lot of roaches here. Again, it's gonna depend heavily on micro. As you saw there, DIMAGA had a bit better timing, but then all of a sudden this huge baneling hit, and it kind of turned everything upside down for DIMAGA. Now a lot of Ravagers being morphed in here as well. Now Ravagers, the strange thing about them is they're worth it even though they cost twice as much as Roaches. They're actually worth it simply because if you land a Ravage hit, it's like doing 4 or 5 hits with, you know, just your attack. So definitely very important to have a few Ravagers mixed into your army. It can play quite well in your advantage because of that. The only thing to note though about Ravagers is they're a little bit squishier, like they have less health, but at the same time they attack faster. Their damage is actually the same, but they do attack a little bit faster, and also the corrosive bile is very important. Creep spread now starting to happen for Liquid Snute. He's actually built his way all the way into the center of this, so that's actually very good for him, just denying a little bit of vision here from DIMAGA. Very, very well played. And of course this does help supply block the opponent, which is very important also. A Zerg that cannot reinforce his army is pretty much a toast Zerg. Now DIMAGA is kind of forgetting his base here. As you can see, Snute has already got this base fully saturated. Not fully, but almost getting there. Does have 5 gases on the way. If he brings one more up, I would start to suspect that there might be Mutalisks on the way. If not, then we might just see a bunch of upgrades. But both players building up their army right now. They don't seem to be too interested in attacking. Except for these roaches, they're just being a little bit peculiar. That Overseer almost getting taken out. There's just one more hit required from the Ravagers, or of course the Queens can take care of it. Are they going to get it? And I do believe they are fast enough. Oh, one more hit. Ah, and that Overseer manages to get away with 1 health. That is the luckiest Overseer I have ever seen. More Ravagers being morphed in here as well. So obviously Snute very, very fond of his Ravagers. And more Roaches also on the way for both players. This Ravager is gonna, or this Overseer is gonna start going around here. A 6th Vespene Geyser is actually up for Snute at the moment. And there we go, the engage might happen now. There's a lot more Ravagers for Snute, so we're going to see how well he manages to land those. It's all going to be about the Ravagers here. And there we go, a huge engage going off here. A lot of corrosive biles actually landing straight onto DIMAGA's armies. And as well, Snute taking a few hits here. DIMAGA thinks that he has the better army. I think it's actually the other way around. And there we go, the cleanup is starting to happen now. Snute starting to come on top here. The supply is heavily favoring him. I do believe that he's in a much better position right now. Decides to chase after DIMAGA here. There's about a 50 supply difference, so he's definitely ahead here. And this could spell disaster right now. The roaches coming in one by one, not going to be very useful. And there we go, GG has been called. DIMAGA gets knocked out of this best of 7 between Ukraine and Norway. This brings the series up to 1 apiece. And we're going to be very, very quickly moving on to the next game, which is going to be game number 3. So we're 1 each. I'm not going to say 1-1 because that seems to confuse everything. So that's pretty much it. I hope you have enjoyed this. If you have, please leave a thumbs up and I will see you guys in the next video. Good luck, have fun, and I will see you guys a little bit later.